day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name's Danielle Neal. I'm the Entrepreneur in Residence for the Faculty of Engineering, and I'll be your host for this afternoon. Thank you for coming along. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? Yes! Doesn't sound very excited. Are you guys excited? Yes! Far out, man. I don't think any faculty in UNSW has ever given away a trip to Silicon Valley before. I was super pumped when I heard that we could have that as the prize. That's what everyone wants, right? Yes? Yes. I certainly wish I could have won something like that in university. And I was also disappointed to learn that I won't be able to attend with you. The winning team will go off into the wilderness of Silicon Valley virtually unchaperoned, which sounds super exciting to me. So I'm really glad you've all gotten behind this. I'm really glad the Faculty of Engineering has gotten behind this. We've brought it together in about 4 weeks, 6 weeks. So, you know, just a month ago, this was an idea. And it's come together really quickly. We've had sort of circa 700-800 students interested in participating, which is really exciting. And this is a really fantastic opportunity. So thanks for taking the time to get behind this and come along today. So the Maker Games is a baby of the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, and because he's got other things to do, he's asked myself and one of his executive officers to look after this competition. So I am a good person to talk to and ask questions about the competition and how it will work. I also have a team of innovation community ambassadors who are mostly wearing blue and some wearing black today. Mega, Linda, Akshat, Hardik, Constantine's around. I think Judy's here. So these guys are also really awesome points of contact. And you'll see us trying to be available on the Facebook group and on the online platform to answer your questions as much as possible. I owe you a bit of an apology because the challenges didn't go up when we imagined they would at 8 o'clock on Monday, and that's because I was still configuring the online platform at 3 o'clock in the morning for 3 days of this week. So I'm pretty tired, and I'm also sorry that you've lost a couple of days. But don't let that hold you back. Jump in and get behind this straight away. So what we're going to do today is use this Slido.com technology. As I'm talking, please put up all your questions as we're going, and then by the time we get to the end, when we swap over to Slido, we'll be able to see all the questions there and run through them really quickly. I don't want to hold you up, and I want to make sure I get as many of your questions answered as possible. If we have, you know, an overwhelming number of questions and we don't have time, we'll make sure we put the answers up on Facebook. So, you know, now's the time. So this is an undergraduate competition. It's strictly for students of UNSW. Those are the key rules, really. It's open to everyone, and we really hope that you'll collaborate with people that you're not used to working with. So ask someone in medicine, ask someone in art and design, ask someone studying psychology. How can we innovate and make this better by mixing it up a little bit? A little bit about my background just for 1 second. I've been an entrepreneur for about 15, 17 years. Let's call it 15. I sort of didn't really go to university when I finished high school. I started a business instead, and I've had a number of successful businesses, and then eventually wound around to working in government, and now I'm here. This is probably the most favourite thing I've ever done in my life. So I love being a part of this environment. This is an incredible university. We have incredible leaders who are creating absolutely amazing opportunities for you guys, and this is definitely an example of that. So it makes me feel excited and blessed to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning making this happen. I couldn't imagine anything else I'd rather do. So I've been in business a few times, made lots of mistakes, had lots of really good successes, and if you want to come and chat to me about anything that you're working on at any time, you always have the opportunity to make an appointment, and we can chat about your startups or your ideas and where you want to go with that. I'm going to press this. No? That. Here we go. This is the Dean's
I'd really like
video.
to explain how the Maker Games competition came about. We have lots of connections with industry, and the industry came to us and said, we have so many really wicked problems. Our staff really struggle to solve these, and we need more people to think about them. And I thought, we have this incredible resource here at UNSW in engineering. We have the brightest students in engineering in the country, we have the most enthusiastic students, and we also have really large numbers of them. And we know that these students are really keen to apply their knowledge here at UNSW into solving real-world problems. So we created the Maker Games. We're going to have the students in groups working together with industry to solve those problems through a whole cycle, and then at the very end we're going to have the finals with an incredible prize of a trip to Silicon Valley in California.
So I thought I'd show that just so that you know it's real. It is a faculty initiative, we're not a society. It's real. And one of the key reasons why you should get involved in this is all of the heads of schools, all of the executive will be looking at the people that get involved with this. So it's a great way to get exposure. It's also a great way to get exposure with our industry partners. I think we've got 8 or 10 industry partners, companies like Cisco, Commonwealth Bank, Philips, there's heaps, and we'll go through that in a second, are behind this program, and they will be sending their staff over to provide mentoring and reading through all of the ideas that go up. So this is the way to get on the radar with industry partners. The purpose of the Maker Games is to solve industry problems, and we'll go through the industry challenges in a minute. Connect with other students is a really important part of this, and to provide you access to startup thinking and support. So somebody asked me today, if you already have something in progress that you've been working on, is it suitable? Yes, it is. If it answers an industry challenge, put it in. If it's a random idea, if it's not fully formed yet, put it in the platform and get started. I know from my experience in business that the first time you formulate something, the first time you pitch it, it's never finished. In fact, if you have a good business, it's never, ever, ever finished. It's always iterating. It's always being refined. So don't delay. This is not an assignment. Don't hand it in at the last minute. Start now. Put all your ideas in. Identify people that can help you improve and make it better. Comment on each other's ideas in a positive way and work together as a one UNSW community to make this a really awesome experience. Vote for each other's ideas and show that this is the kind of program that you want to have, if that is what you want. Outcomes. So you'll learn a lot through this experience. You'll also connect with other people and you'll increase your professional network. And one lucky team will go to Silicon Valley. So let's have a quick look at the platform and get across how that works. By show of hands, is anyone not logged in yet? Has anyone not read the industry challenges? So everyone's login works? Yay! That's exciting. It's a big deal in such a short time frame to get the university to agree to use student login details and single sign-on. So that was a big win for us, and hopefully it makes your life a lot easier. So this is the front page, and here's the challenges. In most instances, we've got 2 challenges from each industry partner. In a couple of instances, they only put in 1. So my favourite is Power the World with Fitness. I think that's really cool. But they're all awesome. Happy to accept any questions around individual challenges. Someone mentioned to me that they needed more detail in order to be able to put their ideas forward, which is a really valid question, and that's part of this process. So the challenges are designed to be really broad and not give you all the information in the first instance, because we don't want to drive you down a particular path to deliver a particular solution. So the idea is that you interpret the challenge in your own unique way, and you take that back to your team, and you meet new people with new skills, and you come up with something different, something that will impress our industry partners, but also give you an opportunity to have an experience that you otherwise wouldn't have had. It's different to an assignment. It's not the same. It's about creating something new. So we've got Disrupt Surfing and Power the World with Fitness from Rebel Sport. The first one's really about, I think it was originally called Fun Between the Flags or something. It's really about giving people who want to have that experience of surfing an option to have that experience without having the experience of being able to ride a surfboard. So if I've just turned up at the beach for the first time, I'm visiting from overseas, coming from maybe a country that doesn't have beaches, it's landlocked or whatever, I've never surfed before, I turn up at Bondi Beach, what is the experience that I can have? And that could be a partially digital experience. It could be, an experience that's safe, that's protected from sharks. That would be my first thought is, how do I protect myself from sharks? But so you are welcome to open that up and interpret it in absolutely any way that you want. Power the World with Fitness is about being able to capture the energy created by a fitness activity to power electronic devices. And if you open up that particular challenge, there's a really good example of a video that you can watch that's a Contra Experience or something like that. It's quite funny. Innovate FPOS. Anyone know the CommBank Albert platform? Anyone ever seen Albert? Ah, well, Albert's quite cool. It was presented at CeBIT a few years ago. I was there when they originally launched it, and it's a really exciting Android tool that is basically replaces FPOS. So it's Android 7-inch. I think there's some other specs there that you sort of have to meet, but the idea is to find a way to make it accessible for vision impaired people. So if you do a bit of Googling, you'll see that this is actually a major issue that's been reported in the news for Commonwealth Bank, and it's really exciting that we have the opportunity to propose a solution. A number of the challenges that have come forward, the industry partners are super keen to actually implement the solutions if they're good. So there's a lot, besides going to Silicon Valley, there's a lot of other opportunity that might come out of this project for you guys. Data for social good is exciting because you get to choose whatever social challenge you think is relevant in Australia. So it could be homelessness, it could be domestic violence, it could be all sorts of anything that you like. How can we use CommBank data? And you'll be given the data sets. You'll also be given, in the instance of Albert, a test device, and you'll be given exposure to CommBank's customers to be able to test and all of these sorts of things. So data for social good is about taking the analytics that they collect or a subset of that and finding something socially impactful that you can do. Transform lives with light is really exciting. Philips has done some great things in this space, and it's a big space at the moment. There's, wellness standards being rolled out, and there's many companies across government and large organisations that are interested in lighting as a way to improve the experience in the workplace. And the Dynalight technology is really fun to play with. Active Transport for Sydney is another one that gets a lot of funding at the research level. That one is an interesting and difficult challenge, and I'm really be excited to see students that take that one up. Open interactive floor plan might be a bit difficult to understand, but basically traditionally workplaces have had pods and desks in fixed locations and people in offices, and that's all changing all over the world. So open interactive floor plan again is giving you an opportunity to work on a project that would be applicable and interesting to so many businesses and all over the world. So again, it's a really relevant challenge. Optimised mobile base stations from Telstra is, I think, quite a tricky one and should be quite fun. So it'd be really interesting for people to get behind that one. It's about reducing energy consumption of mobile stations, and the energy consumption rates are massive. So it's a big problem, and it's really important to Telstra. Motorways off-grid with Transurban is really cool. So Transurban have brought together two really interesting challenges that are quite close to their business. Motorways off-grid is about being able to power lighting and all sorts of stuff on their motorways without using the grid energy systems, which is cool. And also Wise wastewater is another really interesting challenge that I think is difficult, but if you identify other people in the community, you might be able to do something really exciting there. So a good way to find other people to work with is on the Facebook group as well. Westfield, virtual collaboration is again another really interesting topic that many businesses struggle with. It's really about finding ways to bring teams together, irrespective of geographic location, to actually work in a practical way. Subsurface survey is about understanding what's happening under the ground with key services like energy, gas supply, all that sort of thing, without having to drill down, dig everything up and rebuild in order to improve services. AI for sustainability from Vertiv is really interesting. So it's about making their critical infrastructure data centres more sustainable. And artificial intelligence to do that. Predictive maintenance is another AI or machine learning challenge. So if there's anyone that's interested in that, you'll like those two challenges, hopefully. And Future Student is cool, so it's a great way to get on the map for UNSW. Future Student's about how do we develop a digital relationship with our students before they come to the universities. They might be coming from, another country, for instance, or they might be at high school and trying to work out what courses they want to do. It's really quite open-ended, and you can use any technologies or platforms for that one, any ways of communicating that you think would be relevant. And provide something out of the box. Gas bottle tracking is an interesting one. It's basically about being able to track assets and also measure the status of those assets and share that information. And smart safety device is our last one at the moment, which is quite a cool one. Imagining, say, a smoke alarm, for instance. How do we connect smoke alarms to the fire stations so that if there is a fire, the message gets out quicker and we save more lives? That would be an example of a way to interpret that one. So let's move on. How do we get into the platform? So my assumption, because no one's put their hand up, is that the login process is really easy. But just to go over that quickly for the video capture, it's a single sign-on login process. So you will use your UNSW username, ZID, and password. And when you put it in, you put Z and then your numbers at ad.unsw.edu.au, and that will get you in. If you have any trouble at all with logging in, please let me know straight away, because we don't want that to be a barrier. And then once you're in, you'll see that all the challenges are down on the, whatever it is, right-hand side. And this button is for submitting a new idea. So once you've picked a challenge, you submit an idea, and this is where you choose which challenge it is. It's meant to be super straightforward. Title, description, upload one picture that explains it a little bit further. So add co-submitters means that you can submit ideas as an existing team, so you don't have to wait until your idea is selected. You can submit team ideas. You can submit as many ideas as you want to. They don't have to be fully formed, and you can submit multiple ideas to multiple challenges, some in teams, some on your own, whatever you want to do. And I've noticed that in the couple that have gone up already, people have been adding tags, which is awesome, so that's great. They will show up here, and then there's a voting process. So in order for me to vote for this idea, I just click on it and then click up. It's pretty simple. There's no down voting. We thought that was kind of not really very nice or helpful. If you do have a comment that's constructive or a question or just some encouragement for other people, please jump in and make comments. Now, I believe you can share your ideas on on Facebook. However, I'm not sure that it actually brings up a picture. So that was one of the issues with the platform that I wasn't able to resolve in time. But look, go ahead and share them anyway. And the entire UNSW community, including all staff, all students at every level and every faculty, can log in using single sign-on and vote for you. So ask them to vote for your ideas. One question that came up was, is it the most popular ideas that go through? No, it's not. So it's important to attract votes, because when the industry partners go through and make their decisions about which team to pick or which ideas to pick, it will be obvious to them if you've got a lot of votes and you've already, got your team members there and things. They'll think, oh wow, this is this is cool. It doesn't mean they'll necessarily select you. This is not a popularity competition. They'll select the idea that they think is most attractive to develop. But if they see that you've already been iterating, you've already been updating your idea, you've already been inviting other people, forming teams, you are open to feedback from other people, you've been sharing the idea with other people and inviting them to come and vote, and people are voting for you, it's just a way of saying, look, this is important to me and I want to win and I want to be the best. So that's the value of doing that. Also, secondly to that, even though industry partners can only choose one project to progress, it doesn't mean they'll only choose one project. So there's a very good chance that they will want to speak to other students and other teams about opportunities that will come on the offshoot outside of the Maker Games. So once again, it's a really good way to get on the radar and to get that exposure with industry partners, as well as people inside the university who can help you bring your ideas to life. So each campaign or challenge will go through this series of stages, and I'm just going to talk to you really quickly about how this works. In the first instance, I think we've got about 2 weeks now to submit ideas. And then in the pitch stage, what happens is the industry partners will use a pairwise comparison test to go through and just look at the ideas for their challenge, and it compares one against the other. So if there's 50 ideas in there, they'll make all those comparisons and work out whichever ones come to the top. Depending on how many we have, we'll invite a certain number to pitch at the launch event. So if you want to be considered for that, the good idea is to get in early and get lots of votes and make your idea well known. At the pitch event, each team that's invited will have an opportunity to present one slide and a 1-minute pitch. And from there, the industry partners will make a decision about one team to move forward. But there'll also be a networking breakout opportunity, and that's where they'll be keen to approach other teams, because they can only sort of have one go through, and that's where they'll be keen to meet other teams as well, and they'll be interested to create probably other side projects and opportunities. If you haven't formed a team after the launch event, that will be the time to do it. You can have between 4 and 6 team members, and if you're struggling to find people for your team, check out Facebook. There's been a couple of hundred people jump on and sort of speak about what they're studying and what their skills are, and you can easily make contact with people that way. If you're still struggling, come and see us and we will definitely find people for your team. After that, it's about building the prototype. So we're going to go through the journey a little bit in a minute, but this is basically how it's reflected on the platform and then the showcase. While I've got the platform open, is there any quick questions, anything that's not making sense here? Yes. Correct. So the question is, how does the criteria work? So if we have one team for every challenge moving forward and building a prototype, then how do we work out which team goes to Silicon Valley? So it's a great question. Thank you for asking. And the criteria is here. So if you hover here, it will be a good reminder. So it's 40% judged on technical feasibility. So this is a prototyping competition. It's about being technically capable. It's an opportunity for makers to show their skills. 40% technical feasibility. And then innovation. So quality of innovation is 30%. So how interesting is your idea? Did you have a look around at what else is in the market? Did you copy something awesome? Did you come up with something that, you know, has only been done overseas in some far off tiny little country by one person? Are you on track with the leading technology leaps that are about to happen? Have you considered any of these things? Or did you come up with something that's completely out of the box that no one ever thought of? Did you collaborate with someone unexpected who brought skills that made this whole solution really interesting and exciting and creates a whole new opportunity for new experiences and improves lives? Or is it that, you know, you've come up with something that has the ability to scale and impact hundreds of thousands of people? So that's what quality of innovation is about. And then attractiveness is 20%. So how attractive is this to the industry partner to go ahead and fund and continue with? And there are a couple of partners who are super keen to take on and implement the projects if the ideas match that accessibility. So it's 20% attractiveness and 10% presentation. So we strongly suggest that you partner up with people from business and commerce and people who are good at pitching and deliver an excellent pitch and, you know, really make your prototype look as attractive as possible. But it's only 10% of the competition. So you can't win just by telling a good story. You can't win just by being the most popular. This competition's really about building something awesome. Does that answer the question? Yes. Another question on the platform at this stage. No? Great. It was worth staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning then. It just works out of the box. Okay, yep, so we'll switch back to slides. 15? 50. I don't think we'll take 50. So what now after signing up? There is a design thinking workshop this afternoon that we'd like to get you into as fast as possible, so I'll try to be quick. It's an introduction to design thinking delivered by MCIC, and I'm just going to take a quick moment to say thank you to the MCIC for providing this venue for us today. It's a fantastic resource at the university, and we're really grateful to have their support. On the 21st of August, there will be 2 design thinking workshops that stretch out over a couple more hours. It's a really important opportunity for you to approach this problem-solving activity from a different angle. Design thinking, if you haven't done it before, is a really important skill for product development and for all engineering students to be exposed to, and this is a great opportunity for you guys to get involved. It's also really important for students from business, from people from all aspects of the community and workplace to have a think about problem solving from this angle. So I won't talk too much about it, but I highly recommend it. So on the 21st of August, there's 2 sessions, one at 10 and one at 2. So make sure you jump into Eventbrite and book those. And there's information on the website and also on the Facebook group. 25th of August is the launch event, and just to clarify, that's where we will have selected a number of ideas that have been presented on the platform. There'll be the selection process happens from the industry partners, and then you'll come do a live pitch. You'll have 1-minute pitch and 1 slide, and then we'll make the decisions from there as to which team moves forward. So just to clarify, the teams that move forward will get a budget of up to $500 reimbursable on presentation of receipts for their prototyping equipment. Leading up to the launch, you can form your teams, put your ideas up, start establishing what it is that you're going to pitch, and please vote for other people, vote for each other, and encourage people to come and vote for you. We've talked about that. you'll need to finalise your team pretty quickly after the launch event to give you the maximum opportunity to get involved and get working. So the next steps, once we progress past the launch event, there's a product management workshop that's going to be delivered by our industry partner BrainMates. They are a professional training organisation that deliver product management for corporate organisations. They're very good at what they do. It's normally a couple of $1,000s to be involved in their program, and so it's exciting to have them come into the university and providing you that really practical knowledge that you'll potentially use when you go into the workplace. We'll also be providing 2 mentoring sessions, and I'll speak about the hackathon as well. So as soon as you have been selected and your team has met with the industry partners, you should go and start prototyping. In fact, if I was you, I'd start doing it now. I wouldn't wait to be selected. I would just move forward. And if you're halfway through already building something and you put that up as your one slide, how awesome. If I was an industry partner, I would choose that team. So don't hold back. Get straight in. I've done a lot of work to try and unlock as much makerspace at the university as I possibly can, and we will be sharing with you the information about how to go through that induction process, what supervisors are available, what spaces are available, what tools, what equipment, what times, all of that kind of thing. And a lot of the industry partners are also keen to bring you to their innovation labs, or, you know, for instance, if it's Telstra, I wouldn't be surprised if they're interested in taking you to a mobile base station and, you know, showing you, giving you more information. CommBank's got briefing packs prepared. They want to give you the Albert test device, all of that sort of thing. So you'll be given a lot of support and, yeah, really encouraged to embrace all of that. If your idea or team is not selected, please don't be discouraged. There are many programs of activity, some of which I look after, but most of which are looked after through the Division of Enterprise at UNSW, and they're super keen to support active students. So please keep going. Please put your hand up and ask for help. And if at any time you're not selected and you want to proceed, you can shoot me an email, put your hand up, let me know, and I will find appropriate ways for you to be supported to continue to the best of my ability. What else was I going to say? The hackathon. So we're fortunate to have a brand new Makers in Residence team for the Faculty of Education. They're just getting started. They're all people that come from industry. They have regular jobs, they own businesses, and they've been in the industry prototyping things and working professionally as hackers for, you know, in most instances, more than 10 years. And so we have created an opportunity for them to be available to you guys for 3 full days during this competition. So it's not that you will only build your prototype during the hackathon. You'll be building your prototype the whole time, starting now. But in the hackathon period, you'll have an opportunity to work with these Makers in Residence team, and they will be able to actually physically work on what you're doing, work alongside you, give you tips and help you really lift it to the next level. That's their job, is to help you take whatever it is that you're building completely to the next level. And they are incredible. So we've got Adam Faulkner, who's a UX guru in one of the startup spaces in Sydney. Mike Black is a really good colleague of mine. I've worked with him for years. He's an experiential technologist, but he's also a graphic designer, full stack JavaScript engineer, and he's also got heaps of experience in microelectronics. Some of the projects that he's done are phenomenal. He's created platforms that allow you to operate those big Caterpillar, what are they called? They're like big diggers and stuff, with your hand. So you basically wave your hand over this thing and the machine moves. It's mind-blowing stuff. So he'll be a fun person to work with, absolutely. Jai and Alex and Shane are all alumni of UNSW, so they've been around for a while. They know how all of this works. Shane is really good at building physical things, and he's also really good with sensors and devices. Jai has lots of experience as a software engineer, and Alex has lots of experience with data visualization. They've all got experience as graphic designers, so lean on them to help you with your presentations and all of that sort of stuff. And we'll provide you a sample pitch deck for the final showcase to make that really easy. We don't want you to waste too much time making that look pretty, unless you have someone from art and design on your team who's, you know, that's their secret sauce, then fantastic. But if you don't have that capability, then we'll be there to support you with that. Now, I'll just go back quickly. So just to be really clear, the $500 prototyping budget is for the teams that move forward after the launch event. You'll know if you're one of those teams, and you'll get specific instructions how to activate that. So we've covered the product management workshop, which is really important. The mentoring session will be with the industry partner. The hackathon will be 3 days where you can access the mentoring team, the expert makers and residents team, as much or as little as you choose to. If you embrace that opportunity, you'll get heaps of value out of it. If you don't turn up, it won't help you. And then there'll be a second mentoring session with industry partners. And then the showcase. The second mentoring session with the industry partners is quite close to the showcase. So at that stage, you've sort of finished, and you're doing that last check-in to say, mine's the best, isn't it? Just, you know, give me a few tips. How do I make sure that I win? So that's what the second industry partner mentoring session is about. At the showcase, you'll give a 3-minute pitch and you'll have 5 minutes of Q&A. However, there will be a show and tell session that goes for, I think it's about an hour, Mega, something like that. You've got lots of time to actually physically demonstrate and talk to people and show your product separately, not on a stage, which will make it a lot easier for you to fully show everything that you've done and all the work that you've put in, and have some conversations about what might be next steps. So, rules and regulations. You must be enrolled at UNSW as an undergraduate student. We recommend that once you proceed past the launch event, that you are only part of one team. You can submit as many ideas as you would like, and I strongly encourage you to do that before the launch event. But once you get going, some of these challenges are quite difficult, and you'll probably, you know, we'd like you to concentrate and really put your energy in. Teams must be between 4 to 6 students. The intellectual property is yours. Any intellectual property that obviously the industry partner brings is theirs. So you can't sort of, you know, come up with a way to make Albert accessible to people with vision impairments and then suggest that you invented Albert. You know? So hopefully that's clear, and I'm happy to have a discussion with anyone who doesn't understand that. That's the main guts of it. I don't want to hold us up too much, so we'll go straight to live Q&A. Have we got any Slido questions? So the question is, can we pitch more than one idea as a group? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Pitch lots. Pitch existing ideas that you've already been working on. Pitch as much as you want. Industry partners won't be voting. They'll be doing an evaluation process. So the question was, are industry partner votes worth more than other votes? There's only one kind of vote on the platform, and the industry partners won't be voting. What will happen is you'll submit your idea, and then anyone can vote throughout the UNSW community. And then what happens is we move to the next stage, where the industry partners will have a completely separate interface that you can't see, that allows them to use a pairwise comparison to evaluate which ideas they want to move forward, and it will rank all the ideas from top to bottom, and the top section, depending on time and availability and quality and lots of things, the top group will be invited to pitch at the launch event. So if we have 150 ideas for a challenge and the top 20 are super awesome and we can't say no to them, then that's the ones that we'll put through. If it's 2 ideas for a challenge, then they'll probably both pitch at the launch event. If that makes sense. Do the points and badges matter? No, they're for fun. So the question is, on the online platform, do the points and badges matter? And the answer is no, they're just for fun. What's Idea Scale? So Idea Scale is an innovation management platform. It's the base technology underneath this that has allowed us to bring it together in just a couple of weeks, and it allows submission of ideas, it allows building teams. As the stages unlock, you'll see more and more functionality become available, and it allows you to refine, it allows you to ask questions, it allows evaluation and judging. Everything happens in the platform, which makes it really easy for us to scale this program and have 60 industry challenges next year, which is what I would love to see. So I'll just take this opportunity to say I hope you all get behind this and show that this is the kind of thing that you want to be involved in, and then hopefully we'll be able to do it again. Would all the companies provide test devices? No, it'll be up to individual companies. So the question is, what will you get from industry partners? It's up to each individual partner, and it depends on the challenge. So, for instance, the Rebel Sport Disrupt Surfing Challenge probably doesn't really require them to provide you with anything, so they won't. But in order to be able to innovate FPOS using the Albert device, you have to have a device. So it makes sense for them to provide that. Okay, any other questions from the floor at this stage? Yes. So the question is, if you come up with an idea, are you allowed to get help from people outside of this program? And the answer is yes, absolutely. So if you start now, you will give yourself the best opportunity to get the most amount of help. You can get help from anywhere, and we strongly encourage you to do that. It will really improve your outcomes. So you will have, as I said, 2 mentoring sessions and the experts in residence, but you can start asking questions and inviting comments and showing other people your ideas straight away. In the real world, that's what happens, and this is supposed to simulate, you know, an innovative opportunity in the real world. Yes?
So we can pitch many ideas, but really we should only be focusing on one, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to develop all of them at the same time.
So the question is, we can pitch many ideas, but really should we just be focusing on one because we wouldn't be able to develop them all at the same time? It's a really good question, and I can appreciate there's a bit of tension there. As a person who likes to do everything all the time at once, I would suggest do everything all the time at once, but it's not really in reality. So be guided by the feedback that you get from other people. Be open to sharing the opportunity and bringing people on board in your team to be successful in the real world. Whether you work in a business or whether you start a business, it's all about how you can influence and bring other people on board. That's how you make things happen. So one individual person rarely makes something meaningful happen in the world. It's more often that one individual person bringing on board others to really have impact. So be open to that opportunity, be open to collaboration, and be involved in helping lots of different ideas to surface. And then once the teams have been selected that are going to move forward and really go for that end goal, that's when you really need to focus in. So, yeah. Oh, are you able to edit and delete ideas submitted to the platform? That's an excellent question. I can't remember about delete function, to be honest with you. I think so. In fact, we should probably log in and try and do that in a minute just to make sure. I believe you can, but you can definitely edit. So put something up and then invite feedback from others, start having a discussion, gather comments and votes, and go in and change it. Change it as many times as you like. Add extra attachments. Just be aware that you'll only be able to present one slide at the pitch event. So the next question we've got is, what if you share an idea and someone else copies your idea and shares it on the platform afterwards? It'll be really obvious because there'll be 2 ideas that are exactly the same on the platform, and we'll be able to see which one came up first and which one came up second. So as an entrepreneur, that has been supporting my family and other people's families for over 15 years, generating income and creating jobs. I'll tell you right now, do never be afraid of sharing your ideas. Never be afraid of sharing your ideas. Don't be afraid that someone else is going to steal what you've got. Because the minute you have that idea, there's an innovative way to make it better. And the minute you innovate and make it better, there's another way to make it better. And the only way that we can continue to build innovation in this country and across the world is by learning to work together effectively. So the whole concept of going, this is my idea and I don't want to share it with anyone, just gets everybody nowhere. And so that's, I've got a pretty strong view about it. And, I just say, put your idea up. Someone else will be able to help you with that. Don't steal someone else's idea. Work with them. Just be sensible and adult about it. I feel like is that the top one?
Yeah. That one is, no.
How many ideas go through to pitching? We're not sure. I don't know how many ideas are going to be put up in the platform. So it'll be the top section of so what will happen, just to be really clear, is that the industry partners will rank all the ideas for their challenges, for each individual challenge, and then as many as we can put through to the public launch event, we will put through. Something like probably 50 or 60 across the group of challenges. So we do expect to get a lot, and I really hope that's going to happen. How do they compare the quality, the work between challenges, when every company has a different scale to measure the quality of their related projects? So we have supplied a detailed criteria sheet, and it's quite agnostic to individual technical capabilities, and it's really focused on feasibility and lots of things. So I'm happy to share that with anyone individually if you want to sit down and have a look at that, or if it's a big deal, put it up on the Facebook group and we'll share the criterion evaluation sheet. But I can promise you it's been thought out really well, and it's a level playing field. You don't have anything to worry about in that regard. If I submit an idea, can another group work on it without you? Will this program get me a girlfriend? I'm going to say probably. If I can submit an idea, can another group work on it without you? I think yes. I mean, if you choose not to be part of the team that moves forward, absolutely. And I've encountered that experience implementing innovation platforms in large organisations before. There are some times where you want to submit a great idea, but you don't really want to work with it all the way to the end. So, I mean, that's possible. That could happen. Can I construct a team before the launch event and do the 1-minute presentation together? Yes. If you can all speak in 1 minute, absolutely. I look forward to seeing that. Can it be a 1 or 2 person team, or is it necessary to have 4 to 6? It'll be necessary to have 4 to 6 people if you are the selected team to move forward. And if you're having trouble finding good people, I know literally hundreds of them that have been putting their hand up for this, so we will definitely find you some good people. Can you contact the company about questions you have about the idea, since some challenges seem a bit broad? This is a really important question. No. Do not go and ring up CommBank and ask them about the Maker Games. That will make all of us look really silly. Just wait for the mentoring session. That's what it's about. So there's 2 mentoring sessions provided. Capture and write down all your questions. Make assumptions in the meanwhile. So when you put up your idea, put in the comments what your assumptions are. I assume this, I assume this, I assume that. And if it changes, then you will obviously change your solution. Yes?
We bring in other people to work on the project with us, like further on, or would it be too late to register?
So you'll register your team of 4 to 6 people who, if you win, will go to Silicon Valley. If you want to rally in other people to work with you during that period, given that they know they can't go to Silicon Valley but they still want to be part of the project, fantastic.
But would they have to have registered for the Maker Games beforehand, like now?
No. No. So the purpose of registration is to basically be able to be kept in the loop with all the things that are taking place. Getting on the platform is about getting your idea out there, and then being confirmed as the 6 people that will go to Silicon Valley is important. But outside of that, draw on the resources of the university and the industry partner in every possible way you can to be successful. How much technical knowledge do you need, or is it just judged based on feasibility? I think some of these challenges are fairly technical. Depends on the challenge, but I think you'll need a fair bit of technical knowledge. Technical feasibility is about, is it a scalable solution? Can it be manufactured at a reasonable price? Does it make sense? Does the prototype work? Is it something that actually meets the challenge and, provides a sensible and attractive solution? Is it something that we could implement in our business? Those are the kinds of things that industry partners judges will be thinking about when they're judging. So the judges are not the industry partners. So once the industry partners have made a selection of what team they want to get behind, they're all part of the games with you. The judges that will make a decision who goes to Silicon Valley at the showcase will be people with experience in capital raising and investment. So they'll be investors. And so it's a great way for you to obviously get on the radar of individuals around the place who might like to work with you in the future. If your idea is good enough to be implemented but doesn't win, do we still get compensated? Compensated. I'm not sure what that means. Reimbursed. So if your idea is good enough to be implemented but doesn't win, do we still get compensated? So just to clarify again, if you pitch an idea and you are selected to pitch at the public launch event, and then your idea is selected to move forward and build a prototype, you'll be able to claim a prototyping budget for your expenses spent on equipment directly relevant to this project. You'll know if you are going to be reimbursed or not. I'll let you know. I'll make sure you know that you can go out and spend money. Otherwise, the answer is no. So unless you've been explicitly told you have the prototyping budget, you are the team that is moving forward, don't ring me up and ask me for money. And that's it. Any other questions? Any thoughts, any feedback? Who loves the competition? What? Who loves this competition? Difficult crowd. I'm going to hang around for a while, but we'll get Robin up from the MCIC to kick off the design thinking. So hang around. I think we've got some biscuits and kinds of things there, and then we'll get straight into design thinking. Thank you very much. May the odds be ever in your favour.